Hey, welcome everybody to Bridging the Scene and Unseen. I am your host. I am Shane McLain, and this is the wonderful Gwen. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. We got a few minutes to kill. We're still waiting on our guest.
He's
But
here.
oh, he's here. Okay, I'm pretty excited about this, because this is around the same category on what I like to talk about and deal with. This guest has over 40 years in paranormal experience. He is a member and co-manager of TAPS. Um, and he's got a lot going on. Not only that, and he is an ordained minister. He's a deliverance minister. So let's bring on the man himself, Pastor Jeff Leeper.
Hey, Jeff. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you? No. Jeff, if you can't hear me, go out.
Well, I don't have headphones.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. There you go. We can hear you. How you doing? How you doing, man?
Phone.
Hey, I'm Shane, by the way.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No, he can't hear me. Go. This is what happens on live, guys. This is what happened on live. All right, I'm gonna send him a message. Hopefully he'll get it.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yes.
Can you hear us?
You can't hear us? No. Can you hear? Ask him, Shane. Can he hear you?
Jeff, can you hear me?
All right, hold on.
I can't hear anyone.
Okay. Go out and come back in. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna have to send him a.
Sorry about this, guys. We always have some kind of gremlin, some kind of glitch that's going on, but we'll get it all figured out.
I'm using my phone.
No, I know. Go out. He can't hear me. All right. I got it. You guys, I hate to do this, but this is what I'm gonna do.
You better send me a text.
This is a live podcast.
Yeah, we always have some kind of glitch or something like that going on with one of us.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So while we wait, Marla, hey honey, how are you? Hope you're feeling better. Marla is our friend who went to Salem with us, and she's in North Carolina actually. And then we got Kimmy. Hey Kimmy.
Hey Kimmy.
The rest is me typing, because when I type from this keyboard right here, it shows like 8 messages. So that's what all that is. It looks like a mess. All right. So anyway, what's going on with you guys while we wait? Did he go back?
Yeah, I'm hoping that he figures, because sometimes when you go out and come in, hold on.
All right, there we go.
Hey, I can hear you guys.
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you guys.
Yay. Uh-oh. Dang it. All right. Is that better?
Yeah, well, now I can hear you.
All right. Yay. All right. Well, Jeff, my name is Shane. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Pleasure having you on the show. I look forward to this. This is right up my alley. Going. We always start out. This is a pretty organic show. It's no kind of pressure or anything. But what I usually do is just start telling everybody who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Well, sure. My name is Jeff Leeper. I completed my courses in 2013 through Liberty University and Colorado Christian University. I have been, I worked with Bill Bean, the spiritual warrior, for quite some time before I went out on my own as an exorcist. And I've done that job for 21 years now. And that's pretty much where I am. I used to be the co-manager of Tax Family Worldwide Organization with the TV show TAPS, the Atlantic Paranormal Society. And I'm just some old guy that goes out and gets beat up every now and then.
He's not.
Hey, definitely, I get that. I mean, if you've seen where I am part of the Order of the Archangels, and I am also I'm also an exorcist, and a minister for over 30 years with theological experience, for Archangel Apostolic Fellowship.
Great.
So I mean, this is right up my alley, and you know, when I hear, you know, demonologists and things like that, I mean, let me ask you this: like, what is your thoughts on, you know, being involved in the paranormal field, knowing and well, let's see how I can rephrase that. Being involved in a paranormal field, but yet still being able to keep, you know, your ministry intact. I mean, have you had any trouble, you know, with other clergy or anything like that?
I have in the past, yeah. But you know, most of the clergy that I deal with, a dear friend of mine, I used to call him Doc, because he insisted, because he got his doctorate and I didn't, so I had to call him Doc. And he called me kid, although I'm 10 years older than he was. He and I worked together. So you kind of not weed them out, but you find yourself more attuned to people who do this than people who don't. I mean, when I get done, and it's like, okay, great, now I'm licensed and certified. I'm going to go some cute little town with a cute little church with a cute little picket fence, and every Sunday somebody's going to invite me for chicken. It didn't really work out that way, not even a little bit. Bill Bean calls me up and he says, I've been working the case for 7 months. You want to be in on the finish? Well, I'm thinking, well, we both do family counseling. Sure. So I made the 2-hour drive down to Baltimore from where I was. And it was not what I thought. It was a full-blown exorcism. And there were plenty of them in there. And it was freakish. But I didn't get scared, not till later. Later on, I was like, oh, what the heck did I just do?
Yeah.
But at the time, it was like, okay, do your stuff and get done. And I was more of a helper with Bill at that time. But he said, brother, you weren't afraid of anything. I said, well, let's revisit that. But yeah, I worked with him for a while, and I've been doing it on my own and with the help of Maria Player. She's a nurse and a dear friend. And as a matter of fact, we're going to send her the link. Can somebody send her the link for this?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
And yeah, as a matter of fact, she just helped me with a case down in Hagerstown, Maryland.
That's nice. My wife and I, we work cases together. We are founders of Outer Realms Paranormal. So we have a lot. We do everything in-house. We do everything from the investigating to identifying to the clearing to the cleansing, to exorcism ministries. We are 100% spiritual warfare. We're Knights Templars. That's what we specialize in, is spiritual warfare ministry. So I really appreciate somebody who's also in ministry, but also likes to work inside the paranormal field also, because it's much needed. It's much needed. Like this podcast in particular, I created this podcast to bridge the gap between paranormal and clergy.
So many people don't realize that this kind of help is out there, or that people will take them seriously. That's the big thing. People are afraid to ask for help because every letter I get from my website or from, people that get the phone number off of my card, whatever, they say, you're going to think I'm crazy. And, some people might, normal people might, but you can't be a normal person and be in this field.
No, you can't. And it's definitely not. And that's what I try to tell everybody. It's not for everyone. Not everyone. I was a full-time pastor for 3 years in a church. And I mean, it was a great experience ministry for me. Like I said, it was right out of Bible college, and that's where I was trained by apostolic priest and deliverance ministers. So I had the best of both, coming in. So when I first started coming in, I had families that were coming in that were dealing with real issues. And I just got tired of families coming in hurting people. And the only thing that the church would say to them was,
uh-oh. It's okay. He'll be back. Yeah, Jeff, I've met Jeff in person a bunch of times, and we were doing one of the cases. I was there and he was there, and he took care of it. There we go.
But that I just got bumped.
It's okay.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, if you hit any kind
that
of
happens a lot. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's gonna go back and come back in like he did last time. Something.
Okay. Yeah.
We have gremlins, and you guys are talking about demonic stuff, so of course we're gonna have even more gremlins. So,
Yep.
Yeah,
But
we know.
But yeah, that Gwen, that what we were dealing with that guy the other day, it really just kind of hit home with me, because
you'll notice that you get a lot of technical problems when we talk about this subject.
I just did that.
I can't hear you at all, but as long as you can hear me, it's crazy.
Can't hear
that happens a lot.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Can you hear us now?
Can you hear us? No.
I don't think you can.
I think he's frozen. All right, we'll just wait for him to come back in. But yeah, we were saying, we have gremlins all the time, but when you guys talk about certain subjects,
yeah.
By the end of the night, it's here we go. Sorry, I got people. Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Nathaniel. And
what's up, guys?
We got Lee. We got Tom. We got somebody else, and I missed it. What's up? Yeah, we got. We're having gremlins, guys. Yep, there. Marla said it right. Oh Lord.
Yeah, gremlins.
He's coming back. Can you hear us?
The bad guys are messing with us. You know that.
Yep.
I can't hear a word you're saying. The bad guys are messing with us. And it happens a lot. They don't like this message to get out.
No.
They really don't. They don't want people to know there's help.
They don't.
I see you're going to send me another message. Okay. You know as well as I do, young fella. They love to mess with us.
No, I know. You're exactly right. They do like to mess with you. They like to mess with you at your weakest points. They like to mess with anybody that's got any kind of spiritual background. They love to orchestrate or get in and manipulate whatever situations you got going on.
you guys, I'm sending him a message on here because anyway, so just forgive me. But yeah, we always have gremlins, but if we talk about certain subjects like these subjects, it's always there. All right, there we go.
I still can't hear a thing.
Can't hear us? Wow. I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Guys.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can hear nothing. They're messing with us. I'm telling you.
Yes. You guys.
When I was on Taps Family Radio, I interviewed Andrea Perrin, and same thing happened.
Wow.
I will be right back.
Okay.
Yes. Poor Jeff. Yep. He's trying for us, guys. He really is.
I know he is. He is.
He's
he
trying.
is.
But yeah,
dealing with that case the other day, it kind of really hit home with me because the other order that I was with, we were dealing with someone that was almost just like that guy. And he ended up disappearing for months at a time. And no one knew what happened, and we couldn't do anything with him because his family, they weren't letting him get the medical help that he needed. And he ended up unaliving himself.
Hey, James Anito is on here, James. We having glitches, of course, because we're talking about certain subjects. So I know you just probably popped in.
What's up, James? Yeah.
Okay, Nathaniel is asking, here's an idea. How about all y'all X out and come back in to see if it would fix the audio issue? Perhaps it's not messing with his audio, it's messing with the pot. True. I was going to say, Shane, when he pops back in, will you go out and come back in on the link? Good idea. Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to pop him up and I want you to do that.
Came back in and I still can't hear you guys at all.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get out. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back.
All right, hang on. You guys, this is how it is. Just hold on, Jeff. Don't leave. All right, Shane's gonna come back in and let's see. Hold on. But yeah, good idea, Nate. I can't leave because if I do, then anyway, it's crazy. But there's Shane. All right. Speak.
Can you hear me?
No.
All right. I'm going to go out and come back in. Y'all hold it down for just 1 minute, Shane.
Okay. All right.
I'm so sorry. This is frustrating.
It is. No worries. Just give me 1 second.
I'm so sorry.
Everybody else that's on here.
I understand this.
How are you guys doing tonight?
Of course I can.
When you're talking spiritual stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Jeff, will you turn your volume?
I'm so sorry. I don't understand it. I haven't restarted my phone.
Nathaniel, will you type me a message telling him to adjust his volume to cut it up, please?
It is strange.
This is strange,
Nathaniel, but it happens a lot when you're discussing spiritual warfare.
Yep. 100%.
They really don't want people to know that there's help out there. And they will mess with your electronics. And
when you have people that can give the right amount of help, when you give people that give the right amount of help that know how to help.
Oh, this is frustrating. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. All right. You guys just be patient with us.
You guys just be patient, guys.
It's way up all the way.
Okay.
Tell him to check his microphone also down here.
Yep.
It's up all the way.
Okay. All right. I'm going to mute him and step back.
I can hear you again.
You can?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, just came back.
Okay.
Y'all, I did not do anything.
I know.
All right.
Jeff, we were saying, yes, it happens all the time when,
Yeah.
Especially by the end of the night when we talk about real things, not just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It always, so tell us about your book real quick before we lose something again.
Oh, okay. Now we'll be okay. The most recent book is called The Carpenter's Hammer, which is amusing because I'm the most mild-mannered person you ever met, but they call me the hammer in the field. And the carpenter, of course, is Yeshua, Jesus Christ. And yeah, we do what we do. Maria, I made a joke with her on the way back from the last one. I said, we're like Special Ed and Lorraine. And I know.
Mhm.
But this poor lady, actually, it was someone that Maria knew from work that got this lady in contact with us. She had been going 8 months with something jumping up on her bed and walking around. Eventually, it started climbing up and getting closer and closer to her chest and her face. And she hasn't been able to sleep for all that time. And she had people in to help. And don't get me wrong, it's not because it was me or Maria. It was because the boss does the job. But those things recognize authority.
Yes. Yep.
They recognize ordination. They recognize, when someone is used to being in charge of something like that. They recognize
spiritual nature.
Absolutely. And thank goodness I told her, considering what it was, we kind of figured out what it was.
Good.
And turns out that it was a coven that set something on her. And while I'm wandering around the house yelling at stuff, Maria was keeping her, the victim company, talking. Very nice lady, very godly. But, people say, oh, well, I'm a Christian. They can't get me. Sorry. They're smarter than us. They're wiser than us. They've been around for thousands of years.
A lot longer than us.
We haven't.
Yep. Yep.
And they have one up on us at all times. But when people go in and think, I'll take care of this, that's when you get your butt kicked and you don't help anybody. You got to let the boss take care of it. We say the right words and we do the right things. We stand vigil over our armor the night before, which is what I call it.
Yeah.
And and it really helps having that other person there. Well, with your wife, having that other person there that keeps you grounded.
Yep.
And yeah, I've seen so many of these teams. I won't name them, but they say they hunt demons and they do this and they do that. And
no, they don't.
They end up making it 1,000 times worse.
Yep.
Even in the Bible, Jesus said, most 70% of his ministry was exorcism.
It was.
So it's a thing.
It was. And that's the thing too. That's the thing that we have to realize is that when we are dealing with spiritual warfare, these teams have to realize that going to a location and going to a residential house with somebody, those are two different investigations. And if you are not equipped to deal with what a residential has going on in that house, and you're going to make their situation worse when they leave, I'd rather you stay away from the residentials.
Absolutely. Now, if they're just investigating, they think there's a ghost, they go to get evidence, but don't be out there yelling at them. And we both know of a person who likes to provoke, which I disagree with wholeheartedly, because those people still have to live there after you leave.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you stir up the pot and you wonder why, you know, the steam's escaping.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, I've been injured so many times. So many times, you know, everybody, oh, well, you have the armor of God. You can't. I'm sorry.
No, that's not true.
If you are not equipped, if you're not expecting something to happen once in a while, you're in for a rude awakening.
Yeah. Yeah.
You really are. I mean, Bill Bean is what, 6'5" and about 280. He had a woman grab him by the collar and back him all the way up through the house against the wall of the shower. He's strong as a horse.
Yeah.
But we know how the victims get.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you have to expect even if it isn't. I mean, I've had broken ribs, and from something you couldn't see.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, oh well.
Yep. I've
You
ended
guys-
I've ended up with bruises. I've ended up with bruises on my rib cage. I've ended up with grab marks around my arms. The very first time I ever saw something demonic was inside of a church. And the guy came in for help. He was right behind me. And the second the worship music started, and the name Jesus came out, his chair and him were thrown 15 feet against the wall. His eyes turned black and his body started contorting right there in front of everybody, kids and all. So you try getting everybody in a church like that to understand what's going on, and then to have that happening. That was a pretty scary experience for some people, but it is very much real. Now, with that being said, I work a lot of residential cases. I work a lot of cases for families, and not all cases are demonic. The ones that are maybe are 1% of my investigations might be demonic, because we thoroughly test those grounds. Exorcism to us in our order, in our church, is an absolute last resort. We try to look at everything that it's not first. We have a whole checklist. We bring in doctors, we bring in psychologists, we have ongoing psychological evaluations. We make sure that mental health has nothing to do with it. And you can definitely tell the difference between demonic oppression and schizophrenia, even though they mimic each other on some of their activities.
Oh, absolutely. And demons will step into that situation.
Absolutely.
Because they hide behind it. See, in my case, most of my cases are negative cases, but that's because I don't generally just go investigating anymore. People know what I do, and that's what they come to me for. But, it's another case of, well, don't you think they're faking? Possible. But why don't you just say no? Because just 1% chance that they're actually dealing with something evil. I'd rather look like a fool than have them deal with it the rest of their life.
We don't want to take that chance with people.
Mm-mm.
Exactly.
We don't, as ministers of the gospel, we don't want to take that chance with people, because they are people. We are called into a ministry that we chose to be a part of. And when we don't take heed to that calling, then, it could be a lot worse on people.
Yeah, and it's getting worse. Now, I've found, perhaps you have too, I've found that oftentimes when something has dug into a family that much, because they do. People say, well, I never did anything bad. That's okay. They've been around all these years. Maybe your grandfather did. It's familial. And they will wait and bide their time, and they'll nail somebody that completely innocent. But
Generational.
somebody has opened the door and giving them legal rights, as they call, to step in.
Yep.
And it's, and it's the same thing, like you were saying in the church. People say, well, you're in a house of worship. They can't go in there.
No,
of
that's
course
crazy.
they can.
Mm-hmm.
Of course they can. You have to be ready for them. You have to be able to, chase them out of there. But it's not us. It's the boss.
Yeah. And if you read the book of Revelations, it talks about the 7 churches at the end. That's exactly what the demons want to do, is they want to tear up the churches from the inside out. So it's the same thing that the demon does during possession. It wants to tear you up from the inside out, because we're spiritual people. And when we try to call upon the name of Jesus and you are demonically influenced on there, it will terrorize you from the inside out.
Absolutely. That's why they need people like you and me and Maria and Bill Bean and James Long and all these other people. That's why they need people like that, because the training and the faith. I mean, sometimes when they call us for help, their faith is gone. I mean, they're looking around like, why would God let this happen?
You're their last resort. So, yeah.
So they have to rely on our faith. They have to rely on our strength. And I've been scared many times. Believe it or not, the black eyes don't really bother me anymore. You know what still freaks me out?
What?
Polyglossalism.
Yeah.
When several voices come out at the same time, that still freaks me. It's like, I know better, but it freaks me out. I'm sorry.
It does. It does. Jeff, I've got a video on my phone of a case that we have that was out of England, and I was on video with this lady like this, because we always do a video call like this, and I mentioned the name of Jesus. And I held up a Benedict rosary like this, and you can literally hear the hissing. You can hear the different voices coming through. I've got that on video. I'll send that to you and let you hear it for yourself, because my wife heard it and she was like, "Oh my gosh." And she was like, "Please tell me you're not gonna like show and I don't show everybody, but I'll definitely show you, because I think this is something that you can look at too. But it's not a fun sight. It's not a fun sight, and it's really not fun dealing with things like this. But we are called to this ministry.
This is not what I had in mind
at all. At all.
What you're supposed to do is what you're supposed to do, for sure.
At all. And I found that a lot of churches, they go over Ephesians 6, and that's where spiritual warfare stops with them. Ephesians 6. But if you look all through the Bible, spiritual warfare has been going on. And that's the thing. And but you really have to study. You really have to study that. I've studied theology for 30 years, and I got my doctorate of theology this year after 30 years.
I'd like to get my doctorate.
So I got that, but I'm telling you, it took a long time to get there, between understanding Hebrew, Aramaic languages, the language of Jesus. I mean, look, and I'm going to say one word right here, and you should know hermeneutics. Hermeneutics. It's one of the most aggravating things that you'll take in Bible college. It really is. And one of my final exams is I had to do an entire timeline from Genesis to Revelation. A whole timeline, dates and everything.
Yeah.
So that was definitely pretty difficult. But you know what? I would not give it up for anything in this world because, like I said, you've got to be called into this. This is not for everybody to do. And guys, I mean, if you think that you want to get a part of spiritual warfare, really, really dig down inside and pray about that because this is not for the faint at heart. You're dealing with a lot of dark things. You're taking a chance of bringing something home to your family or around the people that you love. You know, it's a very dangerous thing to get into, but it's a very fulfilling ministry when you're able to help a family out, when you're
Oh,
able to help
absolutely.
do that. There's nothing in this world like being able to help somebody.
Yeah, well, that lady down in Hagerstown, that poor woman that dealt with all that, and I told her, I said, this might take a couple shots because, you know, there's a coven working on you. And it did. It took another booster shot, as I call them. And she's been sleeping well ever since. Just the feel, I have no right. I have no business being that guy. I'm not good enough. I'm not sinless. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And the thing is, you have to humble yourself.
Yep.
You have
Yep.
to.
Hmm.
And, you know, about the time, like I said, you think you're doing it, that's when things kick out from under you.
Yep.
And it will.
Yep.
And they know what you're afraid of.
That absolutely know what you're afraid of.
The case that I had in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, where they have the Groundhog Day and all that,
Yeah.
I reference that a lot because it fills my heart. The lady's name was Mary. They got involved in they found some Native American jewelry on a mound out in somebody's farm.
And they
And
brought it
she
home.
said, "Oh, this is beautiful," and she put it
Oh.
on, and they deal in elementals, and elementals are basically it's demonic, you know.
A lot
Everything,
of them are.
yeah, everything goes back to that. I mean, vampires, werewolves, those are all that's demonic. It's there, it's demonic, and it's talked about in the correct books, and but wow, when we got there, I'm telling you, actually, Doc and I, God rest his soul, we went there together, and it was cloudy over that house. Not with clouds, but with, you could feel the darkness.
It was a heavy oppression.
Oh, absolutely. We walked up the sidewalk and we were looking at each other like, oh, yeah, this is the one.
Yeah.
And we met the dad and we met Mary. And I swear to you, she looked like she was mid 50s, but she moved like she was mid 80s at least. Eyes are all sunken in. Her cheeks are sunken in. Dark, dark eyes.
Probably wearing her down.
Very feeble. Oh, yeah. And she came up. The dad hugged me, and then she came up and hugged me. And then all of a sudden, she stiffened up and pushed me back a little bit. And I look over at Doc, and he's like, yeah, we got work to do.
Yeah.
Of course, we had to do all the preliminary stuff around the house. And then we were going to do an immersion baptism when we were all through. And, but while Doc was bad cop, he was standing up doing the expulsion while I'm down holding her hand and praying with her down on my knees and, keeping her blood pressure from spiking, keeping her pulse from spiking. Cause it happens. It happens.
Yes.
That skinny little girl took a guy that could bench press a bus, and over about 15 minutes, she crushed this hand. It's got scars on it to this day.
Oh.
And but while it was going on, my fears came in. I don't like snakes.
That's what you have to worry about right there. You have to be able to exit all that out.
I know. So while we're doing all of this and her eyes are going black, her eyes went dark red, which her eyes were dark red and she's smiling at me. And it's looking over her shoulder because eventually you see them. When you've been doing this long enough, your discernment becomes stronger and you see them. It's looking over, it's taking swipes at me, and it's talking, and it's coming out of her mouth because her mouth is talking. Polyglossalism. I'm getting smacked on my right or on my left leg real hard. And finally, I look down and there's a copperhead snake. This is in the house. And it's smacking its head up against my leg. Hasn't bitten me. And I said, I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to close my eyes. I'll look down there and it'll be gone. Close my eyes, look down there. It's still batting me in the leg with it left a bruise with its head. And finally, you know, Doc was doing the expulsion, but I said a few pretty harsh prayers myself, and it was gone. But that freaked me out because I'm afraid of snakes. They know what you're afraid of.
They do. They do.
They do. And they use it
and not
on
only that, that's what that and people don't realize, you know, about confessional, you know, and you know, before I ever like go into a case like that, if I go into something to where we are ready to expel the entity, I spend days not only fasting, but repenting and confessional and things like that, because I don't want to bring any of that in with me.
And it's all around us. I mean, St. Padre Pio said that if you could see the demons, they would blot out the sun. When Luciel was expelled from heaven, he's a cherub.
Yep.
God's choir director. When he was expelled from heaven, he lost the El, which is Michael, Azrael, you know, Raphael, which means of God. And he became Lucifer.
Yep.
1/3 of the angels went with him.
Yep.
And fortunately, or unfortunately, most of them were lower level angels, like guardian angels, things like that.
Bottom feeder.
More easily influenced.
Mm-hmm.
And so the angelic host is much more powerful than the demonic host.
Much.
There's twice as many angels as demons.
Yep.
Lucifer took 1/3 of the angels. That's unbelievable. And they're out there. And they're out there all the time. They're out there right beside us. People don't realize they're on different planes. Angels are on different planes. They can appear out of nowhere. That's because they're already there.
Yep. Yep.
And we have to be on our guard 100% of the time.
Yep. Yep. We definitely do. I mean, if you think about in the book of Job, you know, where he's clearly asked Lucifer, where have you been? He said, to and from where? You know, it says that it says that the servants of God, which are the angels, came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan was with them. So if he was kicked out of the throne of God, but yet he can still walk with the angels around there, what makes you think that he can't deceive human race? The Bible says that the devil comes in an angel of light. So he takes the things that seem like that you want them to do with it, and he makes it look so glorified. And that is to wreck whatever relationship you have with God.
Absolutely. And it's insane. I mean, he is the absolute king of mockery and mimicry. He's the king of the planet. But he is, as in the Bible, the liar and the king of liars.
Yes.
I mean, he wants to twist and turn our faith so that we can't understand, you know, God, why are you doing this to me? And believe it or not, everyone I know that's in this field has had horrendous health problems at one time or another. Have you?
Yes, I have. I'm 48 years old. And I am not only a cancer survivor. I beat stage 3 non-Hodgkin lymphoma, but I was born with one kidney. And so the chemotherapy and the radiation destroyed my only kidney. So I have end stage renal failure.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But I still, but believe me, I totally prepare myself before I go. My wife is a healer. My wife is a healer. Not only does she work with me, with clients, reaching the person inside as a client and helping them heal, she does the same thing with me. So I cannot ask for somebody better than my wife to be side by side with me, because it's amazing having someone. Man, you can't pay money for the gift that God has given my wife. She is a healer. She is a healer. I had a crack in my lumbar for 2.5 years. I was not able to put my heel down for 2.5 years. And she saw how much pain I was in. And she says, "Do you mind?" And this is before, she goes, "Do you mind if I pray for you?" And she came and she put her little hand right there on my back, and I felt immense heat coming off her hand. And she prayed with such faith and such momentum that I felt. And I sat down and I was like, hold on. And I stood up, and for the first time in 2.5 years, I was able to put my left heel down. And to this day, I have not had an issue because of that little woman's faith and the gift that God has given her. And she uses it to glorify Him, and she uses it to help
That's
people.
diagnosed with stage 4 inoperable metastatic cancer. They gave me 6 months.
Yep, they did.
5 years later,
You're still here.
here's the big old bearded guy. And
We're glad you're still here, Jeff.
Yeah, we are glad. We are glad. It's amazing having somebody like you on, man. Please go on and please join on our on Archangel Apostolic Fellowship. That's our church. That's also the page for Order of the Archangels. We are Knights Templars, so we would love to talk to you about possibly even being in ministry with us, in our order. We are a sacred order. We're an apostolic order, but we would love to have someone with that kind of experience to be able to, work side by side with us.
Absolutely. That would be
around the
wonderful.
world.
My problem is, and I've been trying to put together, as a matter of fact, I just spoke to Lee Triana and Matt about this about a week and a half ago. There are so many groups that are spiritual warriors, but honestly, I wouldn't send them to cases that I get because people are expecting the kind of treatment that I would give them. Mine is based wholly and completely on Christianity.
Yep.
And it's not, I have nothing against other people that are trying to help.
Right.
But if I'm going to send somebody to help, I want to send somebody to help that not only do I trust, not to make it worse, because if you don't do it right, they'll be back 1,000 times.
I know.
And
Worse, a lot worse.
yeah. So it's very important to find that kind of group of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
To take
And
care
that's
of
what we
all over.
that's what we decided, when we created the Order of the Archangels. We wanted to make sure that what we do aligns biblically, that aligns with the gospel, that we keep God first above everything, that Jesus Christ is Yeshua, that He is the one that we go to not only get our strength, but to be used to expel these things and help people. So I definitely agree with you. You know, when we go in, we use a very theological, very methodical method of clearing, of cleansing, of exorcisms, of deliverance. We use a very theological method to do this.
And that's all I've ever done. And I've always had a very strong bond with the Lord.
That's amazing.
And yeah, it's you know, I don't want to talk myself up. I don't want to do that. And because that's what it'll sound like I'm doing. But I've been blessed to have helped so many people. And it's not what I've done. It's what I've been blessed to be a part of.
It's what God's done through you.
Exactly. And there are so many people out there. This is what I did, and this is what I did, and this. No, it isn't.
No,
It
we
really
don't do anything.
No, we show up.
Mhm.
We give people, you know, something physical and solid to hang on to through the process,
Mhm.
and that's basically it.
Mhm. You know, in Isaiah 6, you know, where he has the encounter where he sees God, and he said that the throne was wrapped around, he said, and it was shaking, and the loud voice of God came through, and he says, I am a wretched man. I am a man of wretched. There was one particular thing there, and he got touched by the coals on the mouth, and he says, now you're cleansed. And then God asked him, who's going to go for me? And he boldly says, here I am, send me. And that's what I think we should do. We should have an encounter so deep with God, so pure in Jesus, that when we are asked inside of our spirit, who's going to go for me? Who's going to do this for me? Send me, Lord. I will go.
You know, faith has gotten me through a lot of stuff. I have to admit, I had crisis of faith during the worst parts of the cancer treatments. And you know that.
Yes, sir.
You do. You have crisis of faith. You feel ashamed of yourself because of how you felt at that time. And it's almost like it's not the same person. You look back and you see that person and you feel terrible for them because that's not who you are now.
That's right.
It's just such an odd dynamic.
It is. It is. It is. Especially when you feel like that your faith is there, but you're losing everything else, your faculties, your weight, you know, things are going, you feel horrible. You know, when I used to go through treatments, I would feel good the first day. The second, third, and fourth day is when I felt horrible.
It sneaks up on you.
Yeah, it does.
After the first couple of times, you know it's coming.
Oh, yeah.
You dread it. You just so dread it.
Yep.
And,
that red bag that hangs up there, that liquid fire that hangs up there. I used to hate when they do this because that is the wretched chemo that goes in there, and that's what makes you feel really bad. And our hour's almost up, Jeff. Can you tell everybody?
You know what? You guys can go on. Long as I get off here in about 15 after, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Get to start, but I gotta say this one story about Jeff. I remember when we went. I'm not gonna say where we went somewhere, and it was. Remember me and Matt ended up going. Lee couldn't
North
come.
Carolina. Yeah.
North Carolina.
You say the state.
And, I got to see Jeff do some. He was very on it. He was on it. He was very much on it. Now, I don't know how else to put that, but I got to see him in action a little bit. And it wasn't a really terrible situation, but but he went and he treated it like anything. Like, we're gonna figure out what's up, and he did. And That was actually pretty cool to get to see
Okay.
you in action, I guess.
It was an expensive trip. And
Yes.
that's one thing that bites into us. And
Yeah,
you
you
got
saw
to
it.
admit, so I even put a donation button on my website because it gets oppressive to us financially. And this
It does.
lady would not have brain surgery until I went down and blessed her. And we took care of the house. She wouldn't do it, and she needed it.
She
And
very much, yeah. I mean, I wasn't good. I would never say a name, but yeah.
no,
But
but yeah,
I think that I don't know what has happened to this person, and I hope for the best. I do, but there was more than one thing going on in that house, and with that family, let me call it, yeah. So I'm hoping
well,
that
they wouldn't do their homework. They were wonderful for a while. Then they had all these miracles happen. They were real genuine miracles. I mean, she got travel and a hotel and everything else given to them for her operation. It was amazing. But then it was like, well, I give them homework. I always give them homework. You
Yes,
got to do
did.
this, and this, and this. And that's all you got to do. And they would, no, I kind of like it this way. I'm sorry, but it's not going to stick.
Right.
But I got
If
to
you
see
do
Jeff
the same things that got you in that situation,
Yeah.
it's going to get you into situation.
That is true. And like I said, even with ours, we have a whole checklist and we go through, and not only do we send it, but we also send a release. And what that release is that before we step in to do anything spiritually, that they have agreed that we could see and analyze everything medical between psychological and doctors and things like that, so we can eliminate everything else before we get into the spiritual. And I think it's very important that people do that. And that's one thing that people don't do, is you have to take these people and they are hurting, they have things going on, and the last thing they need is for somebody to come in and make their situation worse.
Absolutely. I love the way you put things. We're like bookends, I swear.
I knew it was going to
Really.
be great.
I
I
would
have
be
a question for you guys in just a minute when you get done with your thing too.
sure. I would be absolutely honored to be a part of your organization. Absolutely
That's
honored.
awesome. And I'll put you in touch. I'll start a chat with our patriarch. He's out of Texas. And we just helped in Uganda, 5 churches that are opened up for Knights Templar over there in Uganda,
Amazing.
that have helped children, less fortunate children, with buildings, funding, things of that nature. So we are very busy doing this, and we're also a part of oh, I just went blank. I hate doing
Yeah.
this. But no, we are a part of oh gosh, what is it called? I'll think of it in just a minute. But we literally we have a part, and if we go to an area and we're doing a presentation, we bring a bunch of the DVDs and things from this group that they send us there, because we're part of their leadership network, going on. And it's just a blessing being a part of, and I would love to introduce you to the right people and to get you in. But please join. Please join.
Voice of the Martyr.
It's Voice of the Martyrs.
Okay.
Voice of the Martyrs, if you look them up, it's about persecuted Christians, persecuted churches, and things of that nature. We have people come in from missionary things, and we get them set up to go talk to churches about the persecution that goes on wherever they are. And it's so important to hear that, because you talk about spiritual warfare on a different level when you start talking life and death, and you're talking to someone who, where Bibles are not allowed, that they go to their favorite verse and they tear the page out the Bible, and they take and scrunch it up and they stick it in their mouth so they don't get caught with it, so they can go back to their house and pull it out of their mouth and they can read a little bit of what's on there, because they're so in love with God, but they fear for their lives.
It's and Christians are more and more persecuted now. Oncology says that the study of end times says this is going to happen, and it is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And the evil is permeating. It's getting worse and worse. Lucifer was God's choir director. Look where all the demonic stuff is coming from now for the kids. The music, the popular music. I mean, when you have somebody like, I don't like to mention names, Taylor Swift, having demonic ritual covens, rituals on stage. And you have all these 13 to 18-year-old girls just looking at it rapt, just absolutely awestruck. That is just Satan's hand right there. And it's grabbing the next generation.
You want to watch something very interesting, Jeff? Look up, they sold their souls for rock and roll.
I've seen.
Yeah,
I've seen.
The whole thing, it's amazing. He did 25-year study on that, about the effects of music and rock and roll. The Bible says, and the time is coming and is here now, when the true followers must worship the Father in spirit and in truth. And that's exactly how we have to do. We have to stand firm, let nothing move us, that we know the work we do in the Lord will not be in vain. That's the only way that we're going to be able to stand firm against this world of darkness. And I think that if we can do it and we band together, then we become a powerful force, that the light will always, always triumph over the darkness.
Absolutely. And we need organizations like this, because whether people realize it or not, the bad guys have people just like us who are doing their work and pushing it on people. And some of them are very, very, they get people's attention. They're very enigmatic, and they get people's attention, and people are just absolutely overwhelmed by them and think they're the greatest thing going. Well, they're working for the other side.
Yep.
And it's frightening. And end times, I mean, look at the Euphrates River, for crying out loud.
Drying up.
The Bible said this was happening, and it's happening.
It's drying up.
Absolutely. And springs are springing forth in the desert, and all the things that it said is going to happen, they're happening.
Yep.
And it's
Earthquakes,
really frightening.
Earthquakes, famines, things of that nature. I mean, you can look from Matthew 24 all the way to Timothy, where it talks about the groups of people. It says, in the end times, people will be lovers of self, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying his power. Avoid these people. I mean, there's so much that you can read up on there, and you can almost put a face behind every single thing, but it is happening right now. The Bible has over 2,500 prophecies. 2,000 have been fulfilled. There are 353 messianic prophecies that all got fulfilled. And the chances of that ever happening are 8 in 29 with 150 zeros behind it. You would have a better chance of being struck by lightning 3 times or winning the lottery twice.
I'll take once. You know, I'm flexible.
We all. Okay. All right, so guys, we have just a couple minutes. Jeff, somebody was asking me how they can find your books or where they can get them at.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
You can go to my website, just Jeff Leeper, JEFFLEEPER.net. You can get them on Amazon, and you can even do a search for Jeffrey Scott Leeper, and they will show up. The Carpenter's Hammer. I have 5 that I've taken part in. I have 3 that I've written completely, and one of them is Scalded Daddy Parts. It's just a silly book, true stories about growing up in the 60s and 70s, and completely different from Carpenter's Hammer. And yeah, there's a lot going. Actually, Maria's working on one called The Exorcist in Me. So I'm thinking that might be really interesting. I'm working on another book after Carpenter's Hammer called The Disciple, and adding more stories, all true stories of these experiences helping people. So it's kind of to show people that there's help out there.
There is.
And that's the same thing, guys, with the paranormal teams. You know, us as being clergy, you know, we want you to protect yourself too. So when it comes to protection, when it comes to grounding, you know, when it comes through, you know, using frankincense the right way to do a clearing before you go in, ridding the negative energy so you don't bring things in with you and things like that. We are willing to use that to help anybody, because we want to see you guys in the best light also. So don't think we're not here to help, because we are here to help.
Yes, these two are. I know them. I know them. Yes.
And there's another thing to remember for people out there that might be doing investigations, you know, the public places and private places, things like that. Don't make it up. If you don't have an answer, say, I don't have an answer. Go to somebody else. Because
it would be better to do that.
Worse. You will make it worse. And you'll give a black eye to people who are doing God's work, because people won't trust people doing God's work when you give them a bad reputation as part of the paranormal community.
Because it's not like the name Christian doesn't already have a bad taste in people's mouth anyway.
Absolutely.
You know, they're looking for a reason to knock another notch out from us. You know, so don't give them that reason. Don't give them. Be a reason. Be a voice in the wilderness that cries out for change to truly happen, and be as authentic as you possibly can be.
Absolutely. Because when you aren't doing God's work, when you are harming God's work, you're doing the devil's work.
That's it. That's it.
And it's a massive, massive responsibility. Even if you're just investigating someone's house, it's a massive responsibility, and you have to take that into consideration. These people are trusting you in their homes, trusting you with their fears. So it's a responsibility. Don't just run in there being stupid, and prepare yourself beforehand.
That's exactly it. Jeff, thank you so much for being on. It has been an absolute pleasure talking with you. We are friends on Facebook and everything, so I'll message you, and I will get all the information to you so you can find out more about us and everything too. But I think this could really work out. This could really be a great thing, and I want to thank you so much for you to come in from work like that to jump on here. Even though we had trouble, it has been an awesome show, and you've been an awesome guest, and I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you. I appreciate Glenn. I appreciate all you guys.
Please come back. You and Shane together. It's so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is it's like talking into a mirror, honestly.
Yeah, that's why I was like, that'll work. I know you're busy though, but talk with us, message me, and I'll get with us three get together, and we'll do this every once in a while at least. I
definitely love this. This has been an awesome conversation. Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you.
All right,
All right,
guys.
God bless you.
God bless.
We got so many people out there enjoying this. Everybody, thank you for watching. We didn't have any major questions or anything. I think everybody just enjoyed the.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming in and watching. Thank you. He's an awesome guest. You guys look him up, look up his book, look up everything because he's a very authentic person. And I think you guys will really enjoy speaking to him. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for everybody that's been watching. And you guys have a safe week. Stay safe, be blessed always, and stay spooky, people. Peace.